All right, team, I'm ready. Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Awesome, sweet. I got everybody here. Got everybody? Sweet. All right. That's my audience right there, and I'm streaming my PowerPoint for them.
Guys, I'm so dumb.
Brady, I'm
I was
recording. Brady, I'm
staring.
recording. Brady, I'm
Brady,
recording.
he's recording.
Oh.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Dylan Dahl, and today we're going to be doing a PowerPoint presentation and speech on effective leadership and communication. So why you should listen to me is, well, I have a lot of different like variety of clubs and such under my belt, such as like football, basketball, baseball, FFA, things like that. I did a lot of that growing up. Um, the key points you should get out of this presentation are what is effective leadership and communication, why you would want to be both an effective leader and an effective communicator, and how you can use effective communication in effective leadership. So, some pretty crazy statistics on leadership to get us started here. 79% of employees will quit due to a lack of appreciation. And only 48% of employees view their company's leadership as high quality. So, leadership is a failing commodity nowadays. We don't have it like we used to. Effective leadership is what we define it as leadership is a social process that enables individuals to work together to achieve results that they could never achieve working alone. So if you work with somebody, you obviously want to get something out of it, right? Tra- uh, an effective leader needs to demonstrate transformational leadership, which is defined by a leader's devotion to helping teams fulfill their potential. They believe that people want to make a difference, that empowerment is essential, mission is the driving force, and that transparency is key. Some characteristics of effective leaders that you should demonstrate are you should be a good listener, you should be open to innovation, you should be able to work well with teams, be good at facilitating change, be appreciative of diversity, and being honest and ethical. So how to show others you are capable of being a leader, you got to stay engaged. You got to demonstrate competence. You got to be assertive but not aggressive. And you got to provide solutions in a time of crisis, which sounds a little harder than it actually is, but I mean, if you got good ideas, always share them, man. An interesting quote, some quotes I found on leadership. The most interesting one I found was the greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things, he's the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. And it was said by Ronald Reagan. My one of my personal examples. This is a picture of me. It's a little blurry, but it's a picture of me holding up a state championship that I won my senior year, and I honestly believe it was all due to the coaching. We had a change in staff my sophomore year of high school, and or sophomore junior year of high school, and like within a year we were already a completely different team, totally different sets of like communication and leadership skills for sure. Our first sets of coaches were not very good. All right. And then what is effective communication? Effective communication is the ability to have a conversation with another person in an engaging way that is focused, consistent, and offers value. Interpersonal communication involves communicating with oneself, while dyadic communication is used to describe two people interacting. And there's a lot of different kinds of communication when you're acting as a leader. There's many different kinds, such as like small group communication, organizational communication, public communication, mass communication, and one that we all use, which is social media communication. And you got to be fluent in all these things and know what it takes to be effective at them. And to do this, you need to limit your noise, which noise is a broad category that includes any force that interferes with the accurate reception of a message. So this could include like three things like external things, physiological things, or even psychological things. Like you never know. So a lot of people got a lot of different things going on. So always be wary of that. You gotta understand that communication is a process. Most people think about communication as if it occurs in discrete individual acts, but it's actually a continuous ongoing process. It's not something that you do just once. If you want to develop a relationship, you have to talk with people more than once. It's got to be more than one and done. and your responses will most likely depend on a host of considerations, like depending on, the football game last week, or your religion, or if you pierce your ears, or God, there's so many different things that could rely on. Like, you got to remember communication is symbolic. So words are symbols in that they represent people, things, ideas, and events, making it possible for us to communicate. People are most likely to understand each other if they interpret symbols in the same way, but also conflicts can arise when people attach different meanings to a symbol. Uh, there's a lot of things I can think of that is that, but just nowadays, like the Trump hat. The Trump hat is like an automatic sign of fucking like people fighting. Oh, I said an F bomb. Oops. Is yeah, of people fighting. An interesting quote I found on communication. So, the single most important lesson of effective communication is this: focus on clarity. Concentrate on precision. Don't worry about constructing beautiful sentences. The beauty comes from meaning, not language. Accuracy is the most effective style of all, said by David Gerald. Which that kind of hit me. The more real a person is, the more genuine, the more you're like, oh, okay, this guy is real. You know what I mean? Some of the examples that require communication of the things that I do on a daily basis is things like League of Legends and Valorant. They're both video games that I play. They require an excruciating amount of communication. So much so that you lose games based on it. So, how you can use effective communication in effective leadership? So it all relies, I believe, on communication competence. So communication competence involves achieving one's goals in a manner that ideally maintains or enhances the relationship in which it occurs. So you got to remember there is no ideal way to communicate. There are many kinds of competent communicators. Like some are serious, some are lighthearted, some are super somber. You got to find the approach that works best for that person. Like there is never a right. Well, there's a right or wrong, but there is no right or wrong approach. There's always a way to communicate. Oh. So you got to realize competence is situational. It's more accurate to talk about it in degrees. It's basically like somebody can be really like a lot worse in a social setting versus like a public speech setting. One they could be good at one and not really good at the other. Um, Competence is actually relational. Communication is transactional, something we do with others rather than to them. Behavior that is competent in one relationship or culture won't necessarily succeed in others. So something that we do here could offend another culture, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, and you could have no idea. You know what I mean? You just got to be competent and kind of try to know. Uh, so good news, competence can be learned and it requires a lot of hard work. So communication skills also increase through trial and error and observation. So developed competence takes time and is something you got to work at. And you can do this by self-monitoring. Self-monitoring is used to describe the process of paying close attention to one's own behavior and using these observations to make effective choices. So if you see yourself messing up, then fix it. That's as simple as that. Competent communicators and leaders are empathic. You have the best chance of developing an effective message when you understand the other person's point of view. So basically, just put yourself in the other person's shoes. Show a little empathy. Show a little compassion. You know what I mean? Everyone's got shit or got stuff going on, and we got to be wary of that. So why you would want to be both an effective leader and an effective communicator? So you would have better hireability for jobs. You would stand out amongst the crowd. You would have better social relationships. Ooh. You would develop better friendships that would statistically prove to be longer lasting. You would inspire your team members and friends, and you would achieve your shared goals. So, in conclusion, you should learn what is effective leadership and communication, why you would want to be both an effective leader and an effective communicator, and how you can use effective communication and effective leadership. And here's all of my spam of pictures from when I was a senior in high school of all these beautiful pictures. You can see me. Oh, my picture almost messes it up right there. You can just see me right there. But thanks for watching. I appreciate all you guys, and I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. Say goodbye,
Bye.
audience. Bye.
Bye.